Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Line Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, and ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's Northeastern player, we have in Ruby Red, it is XXXXXX, also known as 6X. He's playing as a UEF as a 1500. To his southwest, we have in lattice red pink. It is Craig Marine, apologies. He is a Cybran. He is a 1600. And his next door neighbor in Barbie pink is the UEF of Katavunga. Oh, no, it's Katawonga. Okay, he is a UEF. He is an 1800. He is the highest rated player on Team 1. And not in the game overall. That is the honor of Team 2's highest rated player. To his northwest, we have in forest green the best color and faction combination. It is Katavunga with two V's, so it's going to be Vunga and Wunga, and I will confuse the two, so apologies ahead of time. He's playing again as a UEF as a 1400. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in Chevy Crimson, it is Strix Inquisitor. He's playing as the one and only Aeon for Team 1 as a 1200. So Team 1 side of the map, again, the one and only Aeon on Team 1, 1 Cybran, and 3 UEF. No Seraphim Tech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Southwestern player, we have in Rust. It is BJ playing as a UEF. He is an 1100. To his northeast in orange, the color orange, it is Furio playing as the Seraphim. He is a 2000, ready to play the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. To his southeast in the regular slot here for Team 2 in light oak tan, it is Swarm operator playing as a Cybran as a 1400. To his north, we have in Snow White, it is Smithers playing as an Aeon. He is a 1700. And to his northeast, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is LA Matola playing as a 1400. So for Team 2's side of the map, they have two Seraphim, an Aeon, a Cybran, and a UEF. So all the factions are represented on Team 2's side of the map. Team 1 only lacking the Seraphim faction, but making up for it for having 3 UEF. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation before they scoop it all up. Currently sitting at 12,000 mass in reclaim, which makes this 1.2k mass per player. Definitely worth writing home about. In terms of the major clumpage locations, there really isn't. I see a 300, which really isn't a whole lot. 400, 300. It really isn't anything over 500, but it's pretty much evenly distributed roughly around the map. Nothing in the pond, but besides that, it's all around the map for players to grab. There are some civilian structures in this game, 2 in the northeast, 2 in the southwest. We already see Team 2's Elemental going after one in his location. He already has a nice little Zooey helping him out there. And in terms of comm distributions, again, he is in the northeast facing off against Team 1's 6X, so it's 1v1 there. We have kind of a nice little hill, upper plateau section over in the northeast that we see. It's probably going to be a 1v1 between Marine and Smithers. And then maybe we'll see some pond naval action. It is, again, in the middle of the map, so maybe, but at least in the southwest, it's most likely just going to be a 1v1 between Strix Inquisitor and BJ, with Team 2's Furio probably going this vector around the southwestern side of the pond against, I would presume, Katawunga. And then in the regular slot, we have Katavunga moving into the middle. Same thing here for Swarm. So again, probably going to be 2v2, 1v1, 2v1, 1v2. It's going to be kind of a mixed bag in the middle. It just depends on who goes what, when, where, and how. We'll just see how the game unfolds in that regard. Taking a look at no upgrades yet. Looks like BJ's having an audio bug. That is unfortunate, most likely, which means he can't hear anything. So if Nuke goes off, he's essentially telling his team, hey, let me know, because I will need to move my commander if so be it. We do see possible combi-com action will occur most likely between the northeastern players, given they did start, I think, the closest to one another. And again, the Rig Order players have moved to the middle. They probably won't stay there too long, probably about 20 minutes before both of them will leave. But I do appreciate the fact that pretty much everybody on Team 1 is a slight colorization of either pink or red. And then Team 2, it's either, orange or rust. And then kind of a lighter color, more, snow, white, and Pac-Man yellow. Again, there is lightish red colors, of course, but again, the color scheme matching definitely is appreciated to me. We do see first upgrade of the match goes to Smithers. He's starting a range upgrade, and with that, he might go sensor or speed as the second most likely speed if he's going to face off against at least one, if not two, commanders from Team 1. We do see Naval Facility is online for Katawonga. He is UEF, so he has access to the cruiser missile tech. Same does Team 2 as well, so just be aware of that. But again, the only pond in the middle, which could give him a monopoly on the cruiser missile tech if Team 2 doesn't deny that. Gun upgrade started for Team 1's Craig Marine, opposite of Smithers. So both of those players are going to go for some sort of gun. By the time Smithers gets there, the upgrade will either be done or almost done. But first combi-com action does occur between 6X being surrounded by a couple of THAMs and Team 2's Ali Matola. Looks like it's pretty much the middle of the map, a little bit in favor for Team 2, but nothing in terms of the map situation in terms of how far back they have to fall back to get more reinforcements. I didn't even talk about where the main mechs locations are on the map. I completely forgot about that. There's a couple of trimix positions along the middle of the map. There's a kind of devoid, no man's land along that central line. So really there's going to be, Team 2's mexes, Team 1's mexes. There are, some advantages that Team 1 is enjoying with the northeastern corner being under their control for now. Southwestern corner may be going to be solely under Team 2's control, but I don't know about that. We have speed started for Smithers Comm, and we do see Swarm Operator going for his gun. It is a Cybran versus a Cybran and an Aeon, so hit point advantages technically goes to Team 2 in both degrees, in terms of 1 versus 2, and Aeon versus Cybran. Gun is done, so they're on even playing field, Craig and Smithers. We do see Team 1's Katawonga in the middle of the map in that pond, and Furio is going for a naval facility, getting a Team 1 torp launcher just to defend said position. Definitely a smart play. It fends off a couple of early naval units just in case they get nosy on what Team 2 is up to. We do see the gun upgrade for Team 2's Swarm Operator is almost done, and there's shots v shots versus Craig and Smithers. Smithers drops into the yellow, and Craig stays in the green for now. Southwestern side, nothing really happening down here. It's kind of devoid of the everything in terms of action. So I say that, and then somebody's going to die 2 minutes from now, and I'm going to regret what I said. But for the most part, nothing really crazy happening yet. T2 started here for BJ, but again, like I said, I don't expect there to be that much action for now. We do see Team 1's Katawonga over here on the western side, going after a couple of mexes. Team 2 on the eastern side of that position. Furio still going for his naval facility. Team 1 frigates online, but they are being shot up by a nice little Team 1 torp launcher, which is being assisted by Furio's commander, which I think will win out the damage. And with more engineers, those might be Zooey on board. Yep, those could be THAMs. Right. The transport is just having a hard time deciding where the heck it wants to go. Drops off the forces. They are THAMs. Crash lands on top of them, but no real worries there. Shield started on board Smithers' comp, so he's going for Aeon mini sniper, mini tank, or mini sniper tank, or mini tank not sniper, or some deviation or permutation of that. Eastern side, we have Alamatola being surrounded by Team 1's forces. Again, it's no gun versus no gun. Almost 1-star veterancy versus about halfway there. So Alamatola will get that first veterancy. So he now has hit point advantage. He does have hit point advantage, but not by much. So again, shot for shot will be a murder-suicide situation for the both of them. Again, the shield upgrade still progressing here for Team 2 Smithers. He does get shot at, looks like by some bombers. They get killed off by the AA nearby for him. But again, it's not really a huge concern because the upgrade will finish shortly and he'll get 8,000 additional hit points. So it's, yes, he'll take a loss, but he'll get a big gain afterwards. So it's kind of a good deal for him anyways. Western side, again, nothing too crazy. Team 2 has the southwestern corner under their control. Team 2 as well for Alimatola just went in with a squad or so and just wiped out both sets of mexes. So Team 1 in Eco overall was doing well, but we do see that 6X lost against 6 mexes. That is 12 max a second if they were all only T1s. In terms of map control overall, again, definitely favors Team 2, but again, not by much, especially with the pond being the way that it is. And we do see that Team 1's Katawanga is moving in. He's going to reclaim the naval facility. It looks like the Team 1 torp launcher was destroyed. We see a second facility online. There's a new one online in terms of the torp launcher and a second one. So these frigates will die. There is some hover tech inbound from Team 2's Furio. That naval facility has gone reclaimed by Katawanga, or at least partially at a minimum. And in the middle northeast as well, we do see, again, those two players. One has gun stealth. One has gun shield and gun range / speed. You get my point. There's 2 upgrades versus 1. Pushing against the only gun comm of Craig's, getting some T2 PD. That will not save him, and he will be denied and at least pushed back to most likely the naval facilities would be the probably optimal place to kind of hold back. Team 2 on the eastern side doing a pretty good job again, still running in through Team 1 supply lines. T2 mexes are being denied, or they soon be denied, by Team 2's Alimatola, so causing some heartaches for Team 1's economy there. Overall, Team 1 is barely leading, but not by much. So every little bit of mass spent on a unit that has to be rebuilt, or a structure that has to be rebuilt or repaired, is another bit of mass that Team 2 gets ahead, and vice versa. TAC missile starter on board BJ. He does have the T2 engineering suite on board. T2 started for Strix as well. Regular set players have not left the main lines yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Vunga retreating, because there's really nothing going on that western side anyways. Shots going in between Smithers and Craig. Craig focusing on the comm. Smithers focusing on the shield. The PD is the target. It gets wiped out by Team 2. And that's going to be the end of that frontline base for Craig. I don't think he'll die just yet, but again, I say that, and then I'll caster curse him, and then he'll be dead within a minute. We do see gun started for Alimatola on the eastern side. Surprised no gun upgrade started for 6X yet. Does have a couple of Mongoose and other T2 units around him. Same thing for Team 2 as well. Does look like the comm is able to get out of danger for now, but Team 2 is slowly catching up in terms of getting that territory under lock. If they do a direct line, you can see Team 2 is going straight in, or they were going straight in, but now they are retreating. So they would have gained a tiny bit of ground, but it wouldn't have made a huge difference. And Team 1 would have gotten away anyways, but again, every little bit can make the difference. Restoration field started for Furio. Again, he is a Seraphim. So he's able to help out his units both in the on the ground and in the water with the regen or upgrade. Hopefully he goes for Nano, because if Team 1 goes Torp Bombers, they can wipe him out pretty quickly. So I say that as well with the Cyber and Torpedo upgrade. Go for Nano. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but you'll survive a lot longer if you can regen faster. Stealth starting on board Craig's combo. We do see that Team 1's Katawanga subbing in at least a little bit. Going to be now a official 2v2. T2 Navy is online, and I would assume cruisers are going to be deployed as well as destroyers, because we see a lot of hover inbound from Team 2. And yes, there is a new destroyer online. Team 2 also has T2 naval tech. They again have Seraphim destroyers, so they hardly ever miss. That is something to watch out for as well. They do have cruiser missile tech as well, so there's that to consider. T3 bomber inbound, going to drop on the T2 naval headquarters. They're going to do a little bit of damage. If they focus on that, I think the bomber's going to be wiped out pretty quickly, but if they keep going back, which they are, they might do a little bit more damage to Team 2's facilities. They don't wipe out the Pigeon, but they do wipe out the mechs, which is at least 6 mechs a second. Continuing onward, ASF is online now. They aren't able to get there to stop the construction. Lots of engineers are going to die in that explosion. Ooh, lots of engineering power got wiped out. And the bomber turns. It does get destroyed. It lands on the upper plateau. It will be reclaimed by Team 2. But a lot of engineers were killed, which means the speed at which those units are produced is significantly denied. And if another bomber is built, that might be enough to wipe out the P-Gen. And then, well, actually, it would probably need 2 more passes at this point, and then that would be a huge, huge blow to Team 2's air forces for the time being. In the eastern side, we see Alamatola being not surrounded by pushback by Team 1 and T2 forces. There are a lot of Mongeese with their grenade launchers online. Shield is holding, but not for long. Units are actually underneath the shielding as well. First comm of the game to be destroyed will be Alamatola. Credit to 6X. He was outmaneuvered there, and Team 1 scores the first scalp at 15 minutes. And that is now a 5v4 in their favor. First blood goes to them. And that base, once belonging to Alamatola, will probably, well, it'll go to Furio first, but it probably will give it over to Smithers just because he's right there. Yep, there he goes. And he's going to be able to micro that a little bit better. This side will suffer a little bit, but the main base will most likely stay online at a bare minimum. And that'll give enough eco for Smithers to recoup his losses and then get back up to roughly where they are currently. We have Katawunga Craig Marine holding the front line with Katawunga behind him. He now has gun online, so 2 gun comms online for Team 1. Smithers does not have his partner in crime of Swarm nearby, so it could be enough of an advantage to get another kill, dropping it to a 5v3. And then the APM is going to suffer significantly. Yes, Team 2 will get another base under somebody else's control, making it a double or triple base, but it does hurt the APM long term. And as we've seen in many games, the APM is one of, if not the most important thing in the game, because the more actions you do, more than likely leads to more mass income, more energy income, more units on the field, less deaths, more damage, that sort of thing. And that always makes a difference. Southwestern corner, still, it's quiet on the western front. Nothing is happening over here. We have a little bit of force build up here from Team 1's. Strix looks like he is pushing in, so I said nothing happens, and now something is happening. But again, still, not really a lot has happened. Not like it is in the northeast, not like it is in the middle and the mid-east. I mean, the southwest is really kind of the same story, so it's kind of just the same. So west is boring, east is more entertaining, depending on who you ask. A rapid restoration field coming online, or advanced is what I like to call it as well. I think most people may call it that as well. No gun, no nano, nothing else. So it's just going for full regen, which is fine, but I feel like nano, again, is definitely needed for Team 2. I don't think Team 1's going to try another bomber anytime soon. So that is going to be a unfortunate thing, but sometimes you use it. Does it work? Great. If not, eh. Did it get as much mass as it destroyed in terms of being paid for? Not really. But 1 mech was dead, so it's better than nothing. We do see gun starter for the western side for BJ. He has, again, missile, gun, and now T2 as well on board the comm. He definitely needs it because those forces are inbound. They're going after all of the infrastructure first. That's going to give BJ a little bit more time to defend as well as walk back. He could have thrown a missile or 2, but he's holding on to it for now. Overcharge kills off another unit. There's a couple more blazes still here. He should be fine. He's up to 1 star. He'll probably get close to 2 stars after this. And if not, then I wouldn't be surprised if his missile gets him to 2, 3, or even 4 stars very, very quickly. Eastern side, lots of Ilshi spamming up, and 6X needs to be careful. He's building PD now, but it's not enough time. He needs to move out of there, but I don't think that's going to be enough time. There's even Harbingers here for Team 2, and that is going to be the death of 6X. His overcharge does not one-tap the units, and now that the only thing that is there is 6X, he will be target priority number 1, or just default, and there he goes. He destroys everything but the Harbingers. And that is going to be a nice counter kill for Team 2. So again, the player that got the first blood of the game is then killed off as the second kill of the game, which means Smithers will then be due for being the third kill of the game if it kind of seesaws back and forth that way. It kind of does happen that way, that the player who gets the first kill they push in, they gain a little bit of advantage, they try to keep going, and then the player that gets the second base, if they do get it, in this case, for example, Smithers, hammers back hard, overwhelms them, and then destroys them. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, get a little bit of an advantage as that player, if you're the one that gets first blood, push in a little bit, and then go, I think I got what I wanted, and deny it a little bit, and then fall back. Because more than likely, they're going to be target priority number one, because that is the side that is weakening. And then that way, if they kill off that player, it kind of evens it out anyways. So it's kind of just null at that point. In terms of eco, Team 1 is still winning. They were winning barely when I mentioned it last time, but now it's a little bit more definitive. Team 1 at about, it's about 50 to 60 mass income more. Now it's 40. Now it's 20. Now it's 40. So numbers, again, constantly keep jumping. So we'll see who's in favor one way or the other at more the 30-plus minute mark. But for now, we've had 2 players dead. Eco's a little bit in favor for Team 1, but not by much now as I continue to talk. So, just had to wait 30 seconds. It's like the weather. Wait 30 seconds and it'll change. People say that sometimes, and definitely sometimes it has happened, and a lot of times it does not. But the laser weapons on board those destroyers are wiping out Team 1's fleet. We have cruisers in the back line helping to assist as well, and partially keeping those forces at bay. Katawanga is here with gun, but again cannot affect anything in the water because he does not have a torpedo like the Sirens do. Speaking of which, Swarm is right there. He could go help out, but he's going to fall back because, of course, he's macroing his ASFs. And losing the air player is definitely annoying because then the land players now have to switch gears and go land and air, and it's a whole thing, and it's a lot easier to just not have to deal with that. We do see Katawanga has returned to his base and is expanding out his air grid. I do love the decentralization. He has a main air grid and a little bit of a secondary one, which is actually the primary one, but will then become the secondary due to the fact that the more facilities are in one location than the other. Nano repair started for Furiel. Love to see that. He did drop into the yellow, so definitely a smart move there. Torpedo being built on Craig's comm to assist as well, and that'll help out significantly. Katawanga will probably lose his T2 naval headquarters, which will definitely hurt. There's a couple more units still online, but I don't know how much time they have left because there's still cruisers coming in. There's not any TMD here, so that's going to be unfortunate. And there's a gunship now online, a couple of them coming to assist. The T2 Naval Headquarters is still alive, just barely though, at about 50% HP. Like I said, I don't know if it will survive long enough. Those destroyers are being pushed back. They are going to submerge. Lovely micro there from Team 2. The unique ability of the destroyers of the Seraphim is they can submerge and act as little subs, which is nice, but again, their main weapons are then deactivated, so it's just their torpedoes and torp defenses acting up. We do see Cruiser wiping out the remaining interceptors, or at least a portion of them, but of course there are ASFs online for at least one player on Team 1, but I think that's only one. We do see T2 Air Facility also online for Strix, so maybe some gunships in his future, as well as Nope, I thought I saw another one. Nope, it's just T3 Land, and T2 Land, and T2 Navy. Nobody else on Team 2 has gone for air. No, and no. Yep, just T3 Land. Okay, cool. Gunships over here in the east being built by Swarm, Web Whalers, and Broadswords. Missile inbound from BJ that will wipe out the facility. Nice grab there. Snipes it. Gets a little bit of efficiency. And he's not up to 2 stars yet, but we have forces inbound. I think they're going to hunt that commander. We have Mongoose going after Blazes. We'll see how that really works, but the Blazes are diverted to go after the Mongoose. The Mongoose are very, very weak. The Blazes, as a comparison, are at 1,000 hit points, and they have hover, and the, of course, Mongoose do not. Looks like they found a better target, or a different target. At least BJ is the target, losing hit points pretty fast. Overcharge gets him to 2-star veterancy, and he's dropping into the yellow. He needs to get at least another veterancy to stay alive, at least a tiny bit longer, which I don't think he's going to get. Completely surrounded by Blazes, and he's being overwhelmed. Will not get to 3. Oh, it's going to be close. An explosion in the northeast, and there goes Katawanga to Furio. I missed that. That's unfortunate, and I should have known something else was going to happen, but Team 2 is going to lose another player of the game. There he goes, and it is now a 2-player deficit for each team at 24 minutes even. the T2 naval headquarters is gone. It looks like he maybe tried to walk out of the water and just got lasered to death, and that was the end of it. So Team 2 kills off Team 1's highest rated player of Katawunga at 18 minutes. And now I don't have to worry about saying Katawunga because it's just Katawunga now. If I probably will say Katawunga anyways, but still. So Team 1's air player gains the naval base, or the naval presumably base that no longer exists in the middle of the map. Actually, no, scratch that, because Craig's going to get it. Now he has triple base. Team 2's Furrier has double base. He has the western side of Team 2, and then the eastern side belongs to Smithers. We do see ASFs having a tussle in the eastern side on Team 2's side of the map, so all of that fighting will net Team 2 all of the reclaim, which, hey, even if Team 2 doesn't win the air fight, there's that benefit at a bare minimum. Have Sam, says Smithers, because the ASFs are pushing, and they actually retreat. It looked like they were going to win that fight. Looks like they were going for the gunships. And they're going to engage once again, because why not? Oh, they're going to... Oh, they flew home. They decided to fly home, and they got absolutely annihilated. So, yeah, they did win that air fight. Again, not a huge advantage, though. We're talking about maybe a squadron. No, almost 2 squadrons. Apologies. It's not a terrible deficit, but definitely something to watch out for, because that lead can spiral and snowball very, very quickly. Team 2 in the middle now, wiping out a huge chunk of the remaining base once belonging to Wunga. And again, those cruisers are proving invaluable resources. The cruiser missiles as well as the AA are a nice 2-for-1 combo. More cruisers, more cruisers, more cruisers, more cruisers. That's all he's going to build at this point. Because why else? Why not build just more of that? Omni's going to go down. Oh, there is some TMD. It is underneath the shield, so there is that at a minimum. P-Gen is targeted. That's 500 power per second that Team 1's going to lose, which is not a huge issue because, again, Katawunga has air facilities, so they need P-Gens anyways, so not a big deal. 26 minutes on the clock. Team 1 has lost Katawunga and 6X. Team 2 has lost BJ and Ali Matola. Eco situation does favor Team 2 now due to the fact that there's mexes being eliminated for Katawunga now, once belonging to Katawunga, and that definitely helps out with the middle under Team 2's control. So it's about a little over 100 mass per second. I'd say 120, 130, 120 to be conservative in that estimation. And let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game at the time on the... I guess the timestamp of the video also works. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Again, I always appreciate it. Eastern side, we have some Percys having some fun against some Othams. So that's never fun for the Othams. Always fun for the Percys. Chasing down a couple of Zui as well. Zui, again, are small, and they can try to dodge the Percy shots. That was, 5 or 6 shots to kill off one Percy? And if there was Othams there, that definitely would have tried to even the odds a little bit in Team 2's favor. We do have a group of Percys on the eastern side trying to run by, and we have the main group of Percys over here with some backups coming in to assist. So lots of T3 land forces for Team 1's Craig. That'll definitely at least wipe out the more outlying mexes now for Smithers. And his main base over here, his Seraphim facility, is in danger. He does have a GC that's almost done, and it is almost in the green. The Percys will probably reach the base. Not all of them, just some of them. That might be enough time, but we'll see. Monkey Lord is online for Team 1's Craig. The first experimental built in the game. RAS being built on board Furio's Calm. He's maybe going to go for a RAS. At least at a bare minimum RAS, because why not get a little bit more mass into his pocketbook, into his bank account. Nice little stimmy check. We do see T3 mexes being eliminated. T3 land headquarters is going to be a nice target. They don't hit it, actually, which is definitely not great, because it's all... Oh, it hasn't taken a shot yet. But they're wiping out the mexes, which reduces the amount of mass being produced, which means that it takes longer to build stuff. And the Percys are now moving in on this western side again. The GC will finish. Granted, it's not named GC now. It's just G on the icon for the Caliber's mod. I do wish they'd go back to GC, but I do understand just switching to just G. It makes it a little bit easier. You can make the icon a little bit more cleaner and the text a little bit crisper. But that's not enough for Percys to really wipe out that GC. That'll be a win for Team 2. The T3 land headquarters is not eliminated, but all the mexes are, so take what you can get, I guess, for Team 1. Mikey Lord down the mid-east side. We do see Smithers is pulling back all of his forces. He does have his comm here. It's being hit by the secondary fire from the Monkey Lord. He goes, uh-oh, that's not great. As Monkey Lord is leading, his Harbingers are going to push in. Laser weapon will slowly eliminate them and deal with the large group of them, I should say, not really slowly eliminate. Bricks are inbound to try to assist the Monkey Lord, but it might be too late. Team 2 lured it into a kind of a forcible engagement. And a lot of the Harbingers are dead. If it can catch up, overcharge might be enough to kill it off. Smithers is going to take a lot of damage, and even if he doesn't die to the monkey, he will die to the bricks, and there he goes. And that is another kill for Team 1, dropping it to 3v2 back in their favor. Team 1 had favor. Team 2 was even, and then Team 2 gained a kill right before Team 1 got it, so they had favor for a little bit, then it was even. And then now Craig Marine got the kill, and it is now a 3v2. Again, the eco heavily in Furio's hands. All 4 frontline bases are under his control, besides, of course, just a couple of forces and the whatnot that didn't transfer over because they were under Swarm's control. He has his air grid. That is a lot of eco to have. To put that in perspective, Team 2's at 950, Team 1's at 930. Furio is producing 600 mass. That's essentially the mass being produced by both Strix and Craig, which again does make sense because he has 4 bases, and between the 2 of them, they have 3 bases. So it's roughly even. Not exactly, but pretty darn close. Team 1 dropped a ton of eco there. Either that's a power outage or something, because it looks like Katawonga dropped. Ooh, yeah, he's building that Billy Nuke, so that would do it. I haven't seen Billy Nuke really just bankrupt somebody in terms of power. Usually they have a lot of power, but I guess not. Yeah, he's getting a lot of assistance. That might be why it's drawing so much power, but definitely needed more to start, at least at a bare minimum, or e-storages or something to kind of buffer it out. Team 2 in the middle, still pushing him with the cruisers, but again, they only are getting so much work because of the range. The yellow is the range, so they still have a little bit more to go to wipe out kind of Wunga's original position, and then north of that being Craig. But Craig has built a lot of TMD during the engagement, and now, again, there's just more being built all the time, so it's being less and less effective. Zappers are very good TMD, the second best in my opinion. So there is that. We do see that GC, once belonging to Smithers, is now under the control of Furio, and he's walking around where the Monkey Lord was. Looks like it was an easy engagement, with the death of Smithers taking a brunt of the weight, of course. Attack nuke is done. A good target would be the cruisers. A good target would be something on the western side. Couple of breaks on the western side for Team 1. Not a lot of piercing the veil, but they are breaking a little bit of work into that wall section that possibly was being built and then was denied. I can just see that happening. Eastern side, gunships being attacked by ASF. Team 2 should have the advantage. It looks like they have the advantage, but looks can be deceiving. Team 1 will get a bad engagement. They'll be forced to engage regardless. Yeah, they have to. They're going to a corner. Team 2 is going to just chase them down. The fighting will happen really on Team 1's side of the map. Now, ASFs do engage. Looks like they cut them off just a little bit short to get a little bit of a better engage here for Team 1's Katawonga. And again, they will lose, but they took a couple more ASFs with them with that initial, running into the group instead of just kind of being ran into. And a little bit better turns for Team 1. Looks like better turns for Team 1. Very, very, very tight turns. Look at this. Just wiped out the remaining of them. Granted, heavy losses for both teams, but still looked like a superior force, and they lost. Nice grab there. He's like hacker from Katawonga to Katawonga. He just had very, very, very tight turns. That is that's part of it, being an air player for sure. Just getting that tight micro. Just constantly like click, 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 click. Constantly spam that keybind or mouse move click or whatever. We do have the comm of Strix falling back to his base. Katawonga, of course. Katawonga is in his base, and he has a nuke. There it is. first built of the game that I've noticed 33 minutes on the clock. He does have a lot of E-storage, so I wonder why he was just super negative on power. And ASF's engaged once again. They're going after the gunships. The gunships do have some AA, better than the broadswords, not as good as the restorers. And it looks like Team 2 will have the better end of the deal, at least in terms of reclaim, of course. In terms of reclaim overall, Team 2 is sitting at the better end of it, about essentially double the amount for Team 2 than it is for Team 1. And that's part of the reason why they're actually in the lead for mass income or mass totals in terms of accumulated. You know, it's about 50,000, and then it's another 100,000 on top of that. So that's a lot more mass that Team 2 has gathered, reclaimed, farmed, whatever. And it makes a difference. You can see the map control helps the middle of the map for sure. They're losing map control on the eastern side. Western side is falling, but it's not a lot at once, so it's, you know, Team 2 can get more and more stuff built to defend that, and sending a couple of forces in one by one, not really a good idea. The building nuke is done. It is loaded, and it's not, no, it is, it's almost loaded. Is it not? Hold on. Are you not building one? So you built the upgrade, but you're not loading. Oh, because he's doing the nuke first, which would make more sense. But might as well passively load it anyways, because why not? I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity. Soul Ripper started at 20%, says Katawunga to the group for Team 1. And it is being built on the upper plateau. Granted, there is a little bit of a hill there, but for the most part, you wouldn't expect it to be there. You'd expect it to be down here. So the first nuke that launches from Team 1, it will be denied by that SMD if it goes there. They could target the main frontline base for the western side for Furio. They could target the base over here. I mean, there is an attack, which if they do go after this, it opens a lot of opportunities for Team 1 to crush it. If they wait a little bit longer, it would be a lot better. But if they engage, they are going to take significant losses, and they might not even keep what they gain anyways. So it might be better off just to wait. Megalith is done for Team 1's Craig as well. Trying to be shot up by cruisers, but the dang thing just keeps moving. 35 minutes on the clock. That nuke might be a big, big icebreaker for Team 1. Granted, if this was a snow map, that joke would have been a lot better. It would have made more sense. This is a kind of grassy plains map with some ponds, so not the same environment, but there's, you know, water is a form of ice, or ice is a form of water. Just depends on what temperature it currently is, of course. No land engagements, which is surprising from Team 2. We do see a little bit of hover from these T3 mobile shielding. For Furio, he did go for ARAS as well, but not a lot of hover. Not a lot of Autumns down the middle, or any of that, which you kind of would expect from somebody who's conquered the center of the map and wants to push the, you know, shortest distance between 2 points of the straight line. GC moving in from the water, going to wipe out the crab. Crab focused on the line of facilities. The crab could actually just go straight in the water, to be honest with you. It will take significant damage on its way underneath the surface, but the torpedoes on board the thing and just the sheer hit point count is annoying to deal with. It'll lose about half by the time it gets underneath the surface. We have destroyers inbound again. Look at all, it's kind of hard to see, but look at all those torpedoes raining off the thing. Again, the Uashtrava T2 Seraphim destroyers do have torp defense, and you stack them up together, it does make a difference. But again, it will eventually chew through one way or the other. Eastern side, lots of Perkies focusing on the GC. Is the GC being... I thought the GC was being reclaimed. I'm like, what is going on? But there's all the Percy Rex. And now the counterattack is happening. Yes, the GC is dead. But at what cost? I'd say half the Percys almost are dead. We have Zooey inbound, wiping out a decent chunk of the hit points per every blast that hits nearby. Not doing great for Team 1 or Team 2, but I'd say more for Team 1. That's a lot of firepower gone. The nuke, if it does land, will be a nice, again, icebreaker, but there's a GC now online, and that's not going to be enough to kill it off the second time. Nuke is now loaded. Will it fire immediately? Probably not. He's going to probably save it for something. He might try to take out that SMD and then go after the air grid and then win the air game and then go from there. It is a sound strategy, to be fair. He does have TMD nearby to protect it, so attack missiles aren't going to work. Billy Nuke's not going to work. You got to wipe out some of the TMDs first. Tower bombers inbound to deal with the crab. The crab is going to be a nice source of reclaim for Furio. And again, it's trying to wipe out,
Strategic launch detected.
these destroyers, but it's really having a hard time. Nuke is inbound from Team 1, first one of the game. Yes, a game. I know that I am detected. I appreciate that acknowledgement. Furio's main base, actually, that's not his main base. This is his main base. I, I don't think the SMD will grab it. It's definitely too far over to the east. That line of sight is a line. No, it's technically a line of sight. Is definitely without crossing into that boundary. So that's a win for Team 1. That's going to be the first nuke landing and destroyed. The comm of Swarm hasn't moved, but again, he is underneath SMD coverage technically. And that's going to be a lot of pigeons that go up in flames, as well as some E-storages. He's not doing great on power anyway, so that's definitely not going to help things. The SMD, again, like I said, not in range. He's going to build an SMD, at least in a couple of places, immediately after this nuke landing. Will it equip the pigeons? It will. It cascades a tiny bit as well. Kaboom! Mass is gone. Pigeons are gone. How does that do to his power income? Ooh, immediately drops it. And that is enough to make him go negative significantly. He's going to have to fix the power. He has a lot in storage, but he's still draining and still going. That bar is going down, down, down. And he's going to flatline here shortly. There he goes. And that's less mass he's getting as well because he doesn't have the power to run it. That's what the bug looks like for the... Oh, I don't like that. Looks like a... I don't know, like a bed bug or something. I don't know, but it just looks weird that the symbol for the bug. Very, very weird. I do not like it. I mean, it has the silhouette. I get it, but I just don't like it. I don't like the Solar anyways, but I don't like it even more now. Again, best icon is the donut. Second best icon is the Fat Boy. Now, if you turn that Fat Boy into an ice cream sandwich, maybe that'll be the the best one. But for now, the donut, the czar, is the best experimental icon because it turns it into a donut. It's great. It looks like a donut, and now the symbol's a donut. It has little sprinkles on it too. It's great. I love it. If you haven't checked out yesterday's video, it's in that. It's great. If you haven't seen it. Bug on the western side. GC going to stand tall, but not a lot of AA. That Sorper is going to do a lot of damage. We even see kind of Vunga's like, yeah, no. He's going to go after the Fat Boy. Fat Boy doesn't have shielding because he doesn't have power. It's not going to be a one-tap, but it's going to hurt. How is Furio's power doing? Oh, it's still negative. It's even worse. Oh, he's getting a little bit up. Not great. Still not doing great. The bug is eliminated by the ASS, but it does give a little bit of opportunity for Team 2 to exploit. Fat Boy is almost one-tapped entirely, and another nuke is inbound, this time from the eastern side from Craig. I don't know where this nuke is going, but... Oh, it's going to that base, which is the second idea that I had, first idea I had. And that Fat Boy took significant damage. Essentially is dead if Katawunga can deploy another billion nuke nearby. That will be the death of that thing. There's a couple of SSU ram. Oh, that thing is dead. Unless it moves shortly, that thing is dead. Dead. And there goes the nuke over here. Oh, another good nuke here for Team 1. I didn't even check the mass kills on that. 52,000. Here comes the Billy nuke. The Fat Boy's dead anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And it'll do significant damage to the couple of the SACs. It actually blows up a couple of them as well. Nice grab there. It doesn't grab the Fat Boy, but does grab a bunch of other stuff as well. The boot. So nice3grab there from Team 1's Katawunga. 41 minutes on the clock. Team 1, 1.2. Team 2, 1.1. We have 3 experimentals, 2 GCs, and a Ythotha. This eastern side is collapsing. Gunships are inbound, but again, they do have a lot of time to, not a whole lot of time, some time to deal with the experimentals, but not a lot of time. And I'm assuming that nuke, if Team 2 hasn't spotted it, which they haven't for Team 1's Katawunga. We do see another Billy nuke land, it looks like, or just another SACU blows up. And it looks like Sniper Bot's chasing the remaining 2. That is a win. Looks like he has his power back online. That's partially why those SSUs were so easy to kill, because he just didn't have the power to run the things. Now he's at a lot more power now. He's getting that bar filled up quite nicely. But still, It's just not looking good. Team 2's ego-wise, it's going to be a little bit better now. Billy Nuke inbound for the destroyers. Could have been a tiny bit over, to be fair, but 4 out of 5, 80%, pretty good. Wiping out some power. He probably wanted the cruisers if he didn't already take those out, which I think he did not. Well, there's a couple there. Maybe they were taken out by other things. Gunships on the eastern side being wiped up by ASFs. They're targeting the GCs. I feel like the chicken might be the better one to target first. You can actually kill it faster because it has less hit points. ASF engaged. Not a good engagement for Team 1, though. Loaded says Vunga. He's probably, sorry, Wunga. Not Vunga. That's Craig's. Oh, hold on. No, that's kind of Wunga's good. Because sometimes they, I don't know, just don't show the same colors as they actually were when they were alive. Fat Boy's going to be chased down by the chicken. The chicken will kill it before the Fat Boy gets away, which it's not going to get away at this point. There's the slow ball, and there it goes. Another nuke is inbound. I don't know what it's going. It could go for this base. It could go for that. SMD is not loaded, so it could go for that. Artillery is being built there. No. Oh, there's an SMD there. It's underneath shield coverage, but it's not loaded. This is the only one loaded. This one is another backup. Looks like it's going eastward. It's going for this base. I don't think it'll clip that SMD, though. Push, says Vunga, talking about this. GC heavily damaged. SACUs on the front line. They're also damaged, but again, they do have the shielding, which does help out a significant amount. That's going to be nice for Team 2 to be able to get them a little bit more breathing room there. The nuke is going to land, and it's going to be another chunk of mass. And a GC that was almost done, going to be denied until engineers get here. Oh, nice grab. All 3 nukes that Team 1 have launched have landed, which not good for Team 2 overall. And that nuke has killed off 93,000 mass. Team 1's eastern nuke of Craig has killed off 47, but there are units in the playground for Team 1. There's, they're going to kill off the Pigeon and the SMD and the whatnot, and that nuke's going to die. It's not going to be loaded. It's going to fire immediately. It doesn't matter because it's going to go boom. And there it goes. It goes boom. SMD is down. The eastern side has collapsed, and now we see a control K from Craig, it looks like. Yep, there he goes. He sees that the game for him is pretty much over. He lost his nuke that was almost loaded. Team 1 still has a chance, but we have we had, I think, a couple of gunships try to go after him. Bug is like, oh, wait, hold on. The comm is here. I'm going to go after him. And, yep, he's going to be targeted. There is a gunship. The gunship can target the other gunship, so that is the thing. Vunga is moving. He's going to get under shield coverage. There's some AA, not a lot, but it's something. But that line of attack is probably going straight for that air grid. But make nukes, says Craig. 0 air, but make genius, says Craig. Don't know why he's saying it in all chat. And there goes Team 1's player of kind of Vunga. Apologies for not being zoomed in. I was looking at kind of the game overall and just forgot to zoom back in. Last remaining player for Team 1 of Strix Inquisitor. He might dip out. He might teleport away. Who knows? SSCU goes down there. GC going to wipe out another one. GC might die because it was... Oh, there's a new one there. Bug is going to go for the air grid. And with that one fell swoop wiped out one player, essentially wiped out multiple bases. It's going to be essentially the demise of Team 1. Just needed one good push is all you need. The eco thing was pretty much staying the same, but the 3 nukes landing was not great. That nuke did more damage to us than you did, says BJ. And there goes sections of the air grid. They're targeting the air facilities, not the P-gens, which is weird. You want to target the P-gens because it does AoE damage, which makes it easier to kill stuff. And the Maver, I didn't even notice that he was building it, was almost half done. And I don't think that's going to finish, though. Another SSCU goes down. They've spotted the remaining column of Team 1. And I think at this point, it's going to be over. I did like the fact that he was building the Maver. It just needed more time. He didn't have the time. And even if he did have the time, there's still the land to deal with. And I don't think it really would have mattered. Maybe a T3 artillery installation honestly would have been better. It would have been built faster. And you would have done damage sooner. That's the downside of going for T4 is you put off damage, you put off the easiness for more damage, for more, either the super nuke or the spread out of the Scathis or the infinite resources or just the amount of damage that the Mavra does. There's always a give and take. And they have one for the Ion Storm. That's awesome. Little lightning bolt. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's gonna crash land on top of almost did on top of the comm. And they know where he is. Strat bombers are inbound. Some of them will be killed out before they even see the target be wiped up. But there he goes. Team 1's last remaining player of Strix is eliminated at 47 minutes, and that is a win for Team 2 at 21 minutes on the clock. Team 2's MVP, I got to give it to Furio. He did a very good job. Again, granted, he did get a bunch of bases towards the end, but getting the middle of the map, killing off Katawunga, his mirror, and holding it the entire rest of the game. The cruisers, the destroyers did a very good job of keeping that under control and doing a lot of course, just outlying damage from the pond. And then that one fell swoop on the eastern side, it went whoop. Granted, Swarm did get the last kill of the game, but again, the bug was nice. Was it needed? No. Could he have won without the bug? Yes, it just would have taken, I think, a tiny bit longer. Vunga would have maybe lived a little bit longer, but not by much, because that land force was inbound anyways. Maybe it would have gone to 50 minutes, but maybe not more than that. But it's just sometimes that's how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because why not at this point? Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see all of you in the next one.